The only thing left to really do is to go back in, kind of clean up the code a little bit, work on the user interface a little bit more, and adding the Bluetooth. Now, the Bluetooth add-on is going to require me to reflash the hardware. See, I bought a few to test. Unfortunately, these modules, they require the use of an application. For whatever reason they decided to do that, I'm unaware of, but I did buy a device that will allow me to reflash it. I will have to take a little bit of time though to look into the legalities of reflashing the Bluetooth and how that will affect whether or not this is a sell add-on or whether or not this is a gift donation type of exchange, simply because who knows when it comes to these things. As you can see, I decided to add in a crypto cold wallet function to the device. This was a suggestion made on one of my videos, and I thought it was a great idea, so I ran with it. Now, the biggest benefit that I can see to using this device versus the few examples I saw online is that it's not obvious that this has a crypto key on it, meaning that if it's lost or stolen, there's no direct challenge to try and acquisition this key knowing that it has direct financial benefit. To maintain that, I made the key accessible from a hidden page. That hidden page is accessible through any means in which you choose arbitrarily. Now, this isn't the only way in which this can be done. It could be, I could provide you with a humidifier and you breathe on it, and because it was that drastic change that's not going to happen, that may get you in. I could have a situation where there's like little pins. You touch the pins and you roll your finger back and forth, and you do it 2 or 3 times, or however you decide to set it up is going to be up to you, and that'll allow you to get into the board. Now, while I do believe the digital keyring will provide you with a very secure, convenient way in which you can save your crypto key, I'd be remiss if I didn't actually provide you with some of my personal opinions and ideas on how you should go about also saving the crypto keys, just in case. The first thing I would do is I would definitely write it down someplace. But here is an example of some of the places I would write it down, so that way I feel secure as well as not to worry about losing it. Find a drawer in your house, any drawer, pick it up, pull it down, and there you go. I'd write it either right to the back of that or tape a piece of paper. If you have an ice tray, I'd dump out the ice, I'd write it in there or stick it in there or tape it up to underneath here, something like that. Or even possibly just right underneath the door, obviously using some quality tape. If you have a garage door, there is this little opening right here where it's covered from both sides. I would write it down something and stick it in there. Another safe location would be to write it down right on the top of your door like this. If you have any elevated spot like this in your home, you can stand on a countertop and place it up here. Now, usually gutters are along the side of your wall. So if you want to unscrew that and slide it on, slide some paper on there, something taped down with some tape that'll basically keep it dry, that would be a good place to back it up. Now, even if someone breaks into your home, I don't think they're going to be digging around in your fridge or your icebox. It's probably unlikely they're taking drawers out of the actual location. I can't imagine anyone digging around inside your garage door or looking along the top of your doors for anything, or ceiling fans for that matter. And so that's why I brought these to your attention, because I thought that they would be good ideas, things that I would do personally. And I'm more interested in solving problems than turning profit. I don't think anyone's stealing microwaves, stoves, or refrigerators, so those would also be good locations. And maybe even in a light fixture somewhere, right? Like take the bulb out and stick it in there. That being said, it's obvious that, here's another idea too. See the fan, the top end of the blade, write it on a piece of paper, stick it to that, or just write it directly to the blade. So some of the things I absolutely would not do is I would not convert it to a QR code. I would not rely on some other company to save and store it for me. I absolutely, if you're going to save it as a document, would not leave it on your computer or any device. It would be on like an SD card hidden someplace, like one of the places I mentioned. I would not name it anything that's telling. I also would create the document either way ahead in advance or far after the fact, so as to not have any sort of digital connection between the day you made a purchase and then the day that you made a document. It seems a little too obvious. So just to recap, the biggest and basically the last major hurdle would be basically setting up the Bluetooth modules to have the appropriate functionality for those that desire that add-on. So once we have the software and the hardware matching what we want it to do, moving on to the next versions of the board is far simpler, because then all of the software, which I've got like 1,600 lines of code right now, once that all gets taken care of and it works and does what it's supposed to do appropriately, moving over to the next boards are very easy, right? You just upload the code, make little tweaks here and there, not much of a concern. Now, as far as destructive testing goes, I'd say I'm only about 10 to 20% through of what I would like to do for that. But so far, the results of which will be covered in another video, but just so that we know the results were really good. Like always, please comment, ask any questions you have, any suggestions you may want to make. I am very busy, but I will definitely jump on them as quick as I can. Have a good one.